Good evening, everybody. A very happy Thanksgiving, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm David Molko. And on this day where we show appreciation and gratitude from Old Town in North Portland, free dinners were served up to those in need. Blair Best kicks us off this holiday with how a hot meal can go a long way.
We're serving our annual Thanksgiving feast.
Thursday morning inside Union Gospel Mission in Old Town.
Food in my belly. A warm place to be.
Thanksgiving is more than just a holiday.
Basically, we like to open our doors every year, and anybody who has nowhere else to go can come and eat with us.
Like Richard.
I've been outside about 5 years.
He looks forward to this each November.
I feel thankful.
There is, unfortunately, a really big need, and we do primarily serve people who are experiencing homelessness, but there's also a lot of people in the neighborhood who maybe are housed but are just really financially strapped.
I see a lot of people, some people are struggling. To know that there's a hot plate, it gives people hope.
And not just for those sitting at the table.
To be around and kind of on the ground level with everyone who's not as fortunate as they are is important.
Volunteering has turned into a holiday tradition for Nicole and her 2 boys.
It's very meaningful to her.
Yes.
And as people line the block.
So we've got some clothes, we've got some hot coffee, some donuts. Just brighten their day.
Another tradition unfolds as this local business meets people where they are.
It changes their day, just their perspective for a minute. And I think we all deserve that. I think we all need a break.
It's more like a Cajun meat-based gravy.
Across the city in the Kenton neighborhood,
Coming together really nice.
Chef John Tobert prepares to feed the masses.
And the people of God would say yes and amen.
What Thanksgiving is all about for us is giving back to the community. We cook a grade A meal and provide an opportunity for people who are less fortunate.
It means everything, it's so special to have a place to come to.
Since everyone deserves a taste of community, especially on Thanksgiving.
Well, it's Thanksgiving. I really wanted to come out and be with people.
An opportunity to come by and get some love on a plate.
Blair Best, KGW News.
Love on a plate. We appreciate those who give back today and every day. In Salem, Blondie's Guest House opened its doors to anybody in need of a hot meal and some company on Thanksgiving. It's become an annual tradition of sorts for the last 30 plus years and counting. Melissa Lucas, who began as a server, now owns the restaurant. She says she's kept it going because of the need in the community.
It's my favorite day of the year. I call it Thankful and Giving Day. It's something that I can do and help people that need it the most. I've been there where you're alone and having top ramen on Thanksgiving, and it's not fun. And I want to be able to open our business, our home.
God bless them, and I really hope they have a wonderful day, and I hope they keep doing this kind of thing.
How good was the food?
It was super plus.
Well put there. Blondie's second location in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, also served Thanksgiving dinner for free. All right, the weather now is a bluebird Thanksgiving day across the Northwest. Here's a time lapse of tonight's sunset at Haystack Rock at Cannon Beach. Quite a few people were out enjoying the fresh, salty air and soaking it all in with no threat of rain anywhere. There's a few fair weather clouds off on the horizon. Let's bring in Ashley Grams now with the first look at your forecast. Ashley, happy Thanksgiving. How's the weekend looking?
Happy Thanksgiving, David. I'm going to take a turn from that diner. We just saw super plus sunset out there. Absolutely beautiful, but it was a little bit cold. Here are some of our high temperatures from the day, right around the 50s here in the metro area. You can see Kelso about 51, 52 in Hood River. And as we take kind of a broader look here at the state, you can see we're just in those mid 50s here on the coast. Much colder on the eastern side of the state. John Day 40, Bend 41, Pendleton 42, and you can see Walla Walla up there 39 degrees. We are going to stay in these chillier temperatures here, and you can see a clear day still in the Rose City. It's going to be clear and cold through the weekend. Right now 41 degrees, and those winds have calmed down just a bit. We had a couple of gusts up in the teens nearing 20 miles per hour. You might have felt that a bit if you were in the metro area. So we're seeing those winds calm down. It's still chilly out there. We are going to talk more about what we're going to see in the next few days when it comes to holiday travel. Some of you making your way back home in the next few days. Not a lot of impacts here in the Pacific Northwest, but a lot other places in the nation. We'll talk about that in your 7-day forecast coming up. David?
Sounds good. See you in a few. All right, to an update out of the Middle East, where a 4-day pause in the war between Israel and Hamas just got underway in the last couple of hours. The deal to stop fighting was brokered with the help from the U.S. and Qatar to allow time to exchange hostages. A group of 13 hostages held in Gaza are expected to return to Israel in the coming hours. An additional 10 will be released each following day if that ceasefire holds. In return, Israel is expected to release about 150 Palestinian women and minors. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, southbound lanes of I-5 across the Markham Bridge are back open this evening after a fatal crash this morning involving a motorcycle. When officers arrived just before 10, they found a male motorcyclist down in the middle of the span with people giving him first aid. He was taken to the hospital but died from his injuries. This is the 65th fatal crash in Portland this year. Anyone with information or dashcam video is asked to contact Portland Police. Negotiations are set to resume tomorrow with the Portland teacher strike now stretching into its 4th week. One major sticking point is around parental involvement in decisions about class sizes. This is all about how schools will decide whether to add extra students to classes when they reach a set threshold. Nearly all the other issues have been settled, including cost of living increases and planning time. And thousands of low-income Peace Health patients in Washington will reportedly be getting refunds from the hospital because they were likely eligible for financial help but did not receive it. That is according to the Seattle Times. Households making up to 200% of the federal poverty level were eligible for free or discounted care. However, Washington's Attorney General says his investigation found the hospital failed to make patients aware of the financial help and bill them the full amount. More than $4 million will be paid back to 4,500 patients directly through checks in the mail. 11,000 other patients will have to file a claim. New at 11, Portland police are calling the declining number of car thefts in the city a win for the Bureau. The latest data for the month of October shows a 36% decrease compared with the same time last year. Alma McCarty is in the newsroom with more on these trends. Alma.
Well, David, we've talked a lot in the last few years about this ongoing problem of stolen cars. And over the last several months, PPB says they've stepped up the response to address it through data-driven strategies.
Pier 2, northbound turn on 133, driving in oncoming lanes of traffic.
Last Saturday, officers from several departments across Portland teamed up once again to track down stolen cars.
Cutting over, he's heading into the Glendevere Golf Course.
One of those vehicles, this Toyota Tacoma, as seen from PPB's air support unit.
Is going to go off-roading, I think.
Seeing this guy drive, 45 miles an hour down the fairway, that was certainly unique.
Police say the driver was taken into custody on the 14th hole. Any plans to elude officers ultimately foiled. Through efforts like this one, PPB and partner agencies believe they've cut down on vehicle thefts over the last 8 months. Here's Sergeant Kevin Allen.
Rates have been going down anywhere from 20 to 30 to even 35% from year over year.
It's become a big priority, spearheaded out of East Precinct, because of what thieves are doing with the stolen cars.
There was a time when we tended to see just more people stealing cars just to either sell them and make money or just use them as transportation. Now we're seeing more and more criminal actors committing other crimes using these stolen cars. And some of them are real serious. Shootings, attempted murders. We see robberies. We see burglaries.
Officers attribute recent success to a couple of things. First, data-driven strategies to pinpoint cars during recovery missions.
We look for certain factors on cars, such as whether there's no license plate, certain driving behaviors, if there's a broken window. Each one of those things by itself may not necessarily mean that the car's stolen, but added all together, it makes it more and more likely that it might be stolen.
And secondly, community help.
We've had an excellent working relationship with them.
From groups like PDX Stolen Cars, founder Titan Crawfords also noticed a reduction.
Police have reported that there's less stolen vehicles, and we've seen that reflected in the amount of posted vehicles. In my personal search, I've located less vehicles this year than I did last year. Seems to have decreased by 30%, which is fantastic.
Now, the last time car theft rates were this low was back in 2019. PPB also noted a low ratio to find these cars, one stolen vehicle located out of every 3 traffic stops during this last mission. And just because things appear to be going well, Sergeant Allen says they're not going to slow all of this down. There's still too many people impacted, so their work isn't done. David?
A little